Tonight, Heat 2 of the Party Poker Premier League continues here in Montreal. 12 fiercely competitive players have descended on this magnificent city with one aim: to take down the Season 7 title and enter the Premier League Winners' Circle. Jesse May has been there from the beginning, and here's his take on Heat 2 so far.
Last time, the players gathered at the Playground Poker Club.
This place has the best chicken in Canada, and I'm going to get me some chicken.
Providing the entertainment was Phil Laak, who with a stomach full of chicken took his seat, and his tight-as-right plan quickly went out the window.
9,450. Please don't touch, don't touch. I'm creating something. It's beautiful. Can't believe I'm folding this.
Whatever, let's gamble, you know?
But it was Dan Shack, the defending champion, who went first. His aces cracked by Jungle's 2-pair.
All in.
I call. All in. All in.
King 9.
No help on the turn or river.
I didn't want to bust you, Dan. I wanted to bust Seiver.
Dan Shack is eliminated in 8th with 0 points and the bagel. So a lively start to Heat 2. Phil Laak, the most active and entertaining, but he's also the short stack. Jungleman and Scott Seiver have claimed the big pots, but with the blinds still low, Brian Rast, Vanessa Selbst, Jason Koon, and Jonathan Duamel still have time to ladder up.
It's Heat 2, and it's the first time that we are seeing Jonathan Duamel in this Premier League so far, and you're kind of like the hometown hero. What's it like being able to play in Montreal?
It's definitely a lot of fun to be playing in my home turf. You know, for once, you know, you travel all the time, you play all those big tournaments, but for once to be able to play in Montreal, it definitely feels good. I have the crowd behind me, so let's try to win it now.
Blinds going to 3 and 6,000, and Jeff, this is a big level for a couple players. Rast and Phil Laak and Vanessa Selbst, all between 30 and sort of 40 big blinds right now.
Oh yeah, this is crunch time. These, again, the next pots that Phil play, well, Phil of course, but Vanessa and Brian, for them to go to 260, 270 versus dropping under 200 is very important.
And well, he's obviously had a talking to himself, because that's a good fold right there.
And again, here's another hand.
13,000.
She has lived with the small pocket pairs.
Yeah, they're tough. I mean, they're tough. She's been getting tough boards too with them. So,
in many ways, Jeff, you know, Sorel Mizzi in Heat number 1, he was kind of a model for how you fight your way and try and grind out. When things aren't going so well, if you can grind out 5 or 7 points like he did, it's big. For Vanessa right now, for Phil Laak, if they can just grind out 5 points here, they should be happy. You know, things haven't started well for them.
What a flop. That's about as big a flop without anyone making a hand as you can have. She's got the best hand, a gutter, 1 club in her hand. And Seiver's got the second nut flush.
Right, and because of how many chips Seiver has,
16,000.
Could he consider trying to put pressure on Vanessa with a flush draw here? Although it might look suspicious because he really wouldn't usually check raise with 1 pair of aces here.
He's got
16,000 call.
This is interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. 4 clubs would be an interesting card.
And a great card for Scott Seiver, but for Vanessa Selbst, it might look like a good card.
Check.
Any chance she'd consider betting here? What does she think Scott Seiver has here? Does he either have an ace or a flush draw, or could he have something else?
Yeah, this is that's what she's thinking. It's unlikely as an ace, right? Because another ace comes off. So I don't know what she's going to put him on though. The flush gets there. It's not the best card in the deck for her. That's for sure.
Boy, the 4 clubs would be a bingo card on the river.
Yeah.
42,000.
Given what Scott has, it's not a great decision, but overall, maybe it is the right play. Is she going to hear about his hand right now? Yeah, she's only got about. I think she might have 150 back.
Knowing his opponent, I think he's just going to call.
Vanessa right now, she needs to hit a 3 or 4 clubs, and she is in big, big trouble.
Wow. Scott knows his opponent. I think she's going to have to give up here.
Is there any hand that she, obviously she can't get him off the king 10 of clubs, but is there any hand that in her mind she can get him off
I don't think she thinks he folds an ace.
And this is huge for Vanessa Selbst, Premier League.
Yeah.
She's gone big. She has gone huge.
Yeah.
And she's not getting, he is not folding.
Nope.
103.
She alluded to it before. I always level myself against you, Scott. He's just, I guess he just always seems to hold against her, and now she's got the message. She hates this. She absolutely hates this. What percentage of the time is Seiver bluffing here? I mean, that he could even not beat 2 3s. Is it 0%?
It's close. Yeah.
It was somewhere between 0 and 1, right?
No, I would add a little higher actually, but yeah, he's just not bluffing. But
Scott Seiver, not just is he demolishing Vanessa Selbst right now, he's hit a couple hands, he's played them well. Things going well for Seiver in the Premier League, and for Selbst, things are not good.
My name is Vanessa Selbst. I'm 29 years old, and I'm recently married as of a couple months ago. I love the challenge of playing poker, especially because the game's getting harder. There are so many people that are getting better and better, and you hear of these names, these people taking down tournaments consistently that you've never heard of until this year, and all of a sudden they win 3 tournaments in a row, and you say, who was this person? I don't even know. And so there's so much talent out there that in order to stay at the top, it really takes so much hard work and discipline, and that's something that really, it really fuels me, it really keeps me going. I think, I'm just happy to kind of ride this out as long as I can, keep playing my best as often as possible. I have kind of a high variance style that people talk about where, sometimes I'm gonna run cold for a while and make a lot of crazy plays that aren't gonna work out. And so I'm just hoping that I can do the right thing as often as possible and try to not look foolish, if I can avoid it.
Oh, that one was good too. You never know, they can roll out.
One guy who's unhappy about that last result is Phil Laak. Vanessa Selbst now in pole position to grab the 1 point. Considering how badly things have gone for Laak so far, 3 points might be considered a victory.
1,000.
yeah, and again, Phil's the guy. Phil catches the double. He's in third. It's not like he's in striking range. He's not drawing dead by any means.
4,000 here. I took Phil's twice.
Yeah, I think he's got his eye on more than 3. Phil's going to look for a 5 or 7 pointer here, and again, it's still early and thinking Phil was up in some position to win. So,
pretty sharp with a black or red.
The turning point for Phil was the ace-5 hand, no question. Where he got bailed out on that flop with the 3 spades, was able to get a 3-bet from Rast with a 10-8 off, and then Rast continuation. He picked up a pot there, and he's kind of been surviving since then.
Good spot for Jungleman to raise Phil Laak's big blind. He really can't, I mean,
15,000 call.
This is poor. This is bad poker.
Tactically, it's not a great spot to play a pot.
The 5-6 off, 3-betting I like better than this, and this is just bad. This is like against Jungleman, who unless you crush flop, it's gonna be hard to outplay him in position.
How do you outplay the Jungleman anyway?
Yeah, I mean, Phil has to either bet here or totally give up, and
look at this. Look at the Jungleman checking back the flop. He's kind of given up. He's like, that smashes Laak's range. I mean, he would never consider that Laak doesn't have a piece of that.
Check.
Wow, if this goes to showdown with the 7 high, put a deuce out.
Good call.
Oh, so they could chop this up, actually. If Laak checks again, oh, wow. Laak might win this with this run out.
27,000. Folds.
Nice, all right. I mean, I hate it, but...
He lives in the muck, Phil Laak.
I just hate it.
That was one of those hands.
He's like a sloth, comfortable in
those
mud.
hands.
That's a big pot for Phil there.
It really was.
I like that. There we go. By the way, the check bet is so bluffy. I mean, Jungleman happen to just have stone air, Like if he has even like a 10 or he's gonna probably call.
14,000.
Oh, this will be interesting. Oh man, this is what we signed up for. This is why we're here today.
This is what we
Coin
signed
flip
up
pre-flop scenario.
You're
2
right.
solid hands.
And the 2 chip leaders.
3 raised to 38,000.
Yep.
Now, it would make a lot less sense for Scott Seiver to play a big pot than for the Jungleman, given that Seiver got the bagel and Jungleman got 9 points. So
Seiver's calling. He's not raising. He could even fold.
Feels like it's an easy spot for Seiver to pass, but you know, he doesn't like it.
This is not a pass.
No,
him.
this is a appeal
For him. For this dynamic with their stack sizes, yes. He might be thinking we could, I could win. I could actually stack them. He's that's crossing his mind.
Wow, he's gonna go for the 4-bet.
I like it. I actually like that better than calling the 3-bet, just for that reason that he's gonna find out if he has ace king or ace queen, or if he just has a medium hand. Because king queen's tough to play out of position, especially against a good player. I think, pretty sure Jungleman is never folding. I think he's deciding if he's gonna put another bet in or just call. Right, I mean, this is a bluff for sure. Scott turned his hand into a bluff, but I mean, he's got a pretty good holding for a bluff in this spot. But he flops a king or a queen, he's not going to be super confident. I mean, he's going to like it, but oh wow, he's just literally. I mean, these flops are unbelievable. They're not even like, it's not even like a king 10 or like whatever. This is like the best of the best flops. This is pretty standard now. It's like,
is it clear cut that Seiver's got a lead here, or? No,
he like, you know, I noticed he does that. Like Vanessa, when he had the queen jack, he checks it back. He checks the king queen. Like his hand's so valuable. It's like he's semi-defending if somehow he has ace king or aces and played it this way. But like,
see 3 checks.
He also just has a really good hand now. He knows like 10s, jacks, 9s. He's just crushingly ahead.
Could Jungleman still have ace king? I mean, would he ever have checked back ace king there, or does Seiver now know he has the best hand?
He would, I think, check back ace king. There is the flush draw though, so depending if he had like ace king, ace of hearts, or whatever. But Scott, I think he's like pot controlling, honestly.
Check.
I mean, now he's got to be sure he has the best hand, but like, he's definitely pot controlling. And that's a little bit of a scary card. I mean, it's not really right. He shouldn't have 5s, but like, he could have a pair, right? I think he kind of has him on a pocket pair, probably like 9s, 10s, jacks is what he's thinking.
He doesn't want to leave value on the table, does he? And he's going to go for the bet.
Yep, and this may actually just get called. I think, yeah, he's going to go a big bet that can't really, I think the jungle can't like re-raise without it.
140.
140, right, okay.
Right, so like here, if he bets like a 3rd pot, you could induce jungle to bluff, but then he doesn't know if it's an inducement or not. Like here, he's just going to like get jungle to call.
And not an easy decision for the Jungleman, but wow.
Nice play. I mean, jungle played that pretty well.
And for Scott Seiver, feels double good. He picked up chips.
If I was bluffing, I'd have had to show it. So.
And he took him off the Jungleman.
And Scott gives a little bit of like a make jungle think, you know? If I was bluffing like he was, just,
I got the garlic
please.
Everything's good. 841,000 in chips and garlic shrimp on the way.
I think Scott Seiver plays this format better than almost anybody, and he is definitely someone that's going to be very dangerous.
Seiver's just good. He's one of those guys that's just good at poker. He understands situations very well, and he's very tough to play because he's just good.
We have a little bit of a history.
It's never on you when you act.
He seems to really like to make me feel stupid.
I didn't intend to. It's just like actual cheating at this point.
Like kind of stirs my emotions a little bit.
It's impossible for you to be as dumb as you're acting.
You're an idiot. Sometimes he's really charming and sometimes he's just a huge douchebag.
I think he's one of the best in the world to have no limit hold'em. He acts very quickly and precisely and accurately. It's very hard to beat.
In my opinion, I think he's the #1 poker player on the planet.
This heat's playing out so different than the first heat. I think it was 6-handed up until the 10 and 20,000 level.
Hard to say
feel like that
right?
This is a way different dynamic.
Yeah, show that one. We definitely had enough time to write it down.
Again, nice little hand. Almost looks too happy there. He's like, you can't believe what kind of cards he's getting.
14,000.
He's really showing his game, Scott Seiver. I mean, he's played hands a lot differently than most people would have played them. All of them successfully. And look at the Jungleman just laying down.
I promise I'm not laughing at you with that. I promise.
I don't know what that's about.
Everyone does that now and then, and it's hilarious every time.
Like really almost all.
Yeah.
I can't believe
I do that all the time.
They're the 2 deepest stacks. Like if anyone he's gonna play 6s with,
it's almost like you know he's been
just an automatic. His ass. You're like, wait a second.
Koon's got a very like queen jack off. Koon might not come in or raise, but here he's got them suited queen jack. Plays well. He's gonna go to a flop.
Check.
Scott could definitely check this
Check.
guy.
Jim L for your 1-2. Jim L.
No one has a heart. It's tough for Koon to lead here now.
How easy can Koon represent a pocket pair here, I wonder?
Check.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, it's just kind of, yeah, Scott thinks he has the best hand, but he doesn't want to bet, get raised off it, and he's going to get, it's going to cost him. That was like literally the only cards Scott doesn't want to see in his mind are Jack Queen, maybe a 9. Jack Queen are like the 2 bad cards in his head on the river. Other than that, he's probably convinced he has the best hand. And he could even
21,000.
but I think he's just going to fold. He played this super slow.
Fold.
Yeah, well, Seiver doesn't really have to worry about giving up a few chips. He does have over 800,000 still. Everything going well.
Well, 4-bet a lot worse than that hand. So.
Heat 2 continues here at the Playground Poker Club after the break.
Have you seen your hand already?
No. But I think it's aces.
At least I didn't get bluffed. Made for TV. It's made for TV.
Welcome back. The Party Poker Premier League is all about securing enough points to book a place at the coveted final table, where the winner gets a cool $400,000. Now that is an incentive.
Party Poker Premier League 7 from the bustling Playground Poker Club in Montreal, where we have the WPT Montreal in progress, but the headline event is right here.
Fold.
Rasty just not getting anything done.
Fold.
He's obviously had a little talking to himself. Brian Rast said, look, you need to score. Phil Laak is a madman here. Let him flame out.
Oh, okay. So here I'm Phil. I have 7-8 off against Vanessa with her stack. I mean, he may, I mean, I don't know what he could be doing. I just think this is like.
I keep seeing the hand go out and it spells disaster for me no matter what I do. I think I just cut my losses at 3,000. I can't see any way out of it.
I think that's probably a smart move.
And he was a smart guy, so.
Have you seen your hand already?
No. But I think it's aces.
Oh, no.
Is she gonna limp? I mean, I can't imagine. Like,
I'm not sure what the Bill Chen chart says here. She's got about 14 bigs, right?
Guess what? We're not gonna know.
I like that.
I'm gonna get yelled at in the forums right there.
Nice
I can't. I'm sorry, Jeffrey Gross.
I was gonna say Jeff upstairs is like, wow.
I'm sorry.
You must have had like
Jesse.
at least like king 3 off. You must have had what?
I'm sorry.
10 jack.
He actually
10 9 off suit. 10 9 off.
I like that.
Not queen.
I don't like the king 3. See, now here's Phil considering the 7.
Jesse's wondering what I've done.
Phil's considering with the 7-8 when she has the stack. When he had king 3 off,
I'm telling you, I
like
think I had aces,
60,000, and he had more chips at the time.
I don't know.
You know, it's an easy shove. And there, he's like 7-8 off debating.
I don't think he was debating. I think he wanted to give her the impression that he's tight. That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to shove her all in, but I think he wanted to see a flop. He just realized it's not a good out. It's not going to work. It's not a good spot to go out of position with that hand.
I would have thought a lot longer, and then folded, and then folded.
That is 15,000.
I think I get 2 from you if you have.
Oh,
great spot for Duamel.
Yep, he's thinking, do I flat or raise? He's been quiet. So like with being quiet, raising sends off a little bit of alarms, but I think his image overall in general is aggressive, so he's gonna have to raise.
Raise to 42,000.
But he's been quiet today.
Didn't see those
right, and it is kind of a spot where he needs, even though he's got a big hand, he needs to get the pots over early because he can't afford to get kind of crushed with a bad flop.
Here's Laak. This is just posturing. I mean, this is just. He doesn't have that 4-bet jam. Rightfully so. Here he should.
36 folds, 7 folds.
It's not really a spot where Duamel would be super light, is he? I mean, there's still like 5 people to act behind him.
Oh wow, Jason. These are those hands I'm talking about. The ace jack suited, the ace queens. These are hands that are like oftentimes the right to get involved, but it's just
well, hand one was
good feel there. He just got rid of it.
Second orbit around.
With the raise. Now, what's interesting is if Jungleman hadn't opened, which he's been not really super aggressive opening. So if he just doesn't open, Duhamel opens, Jason's probably going to 3-bet there, or at least flat. So kind of just a butterfly effect. Interesting how it goes.
21 hands and there's 7 people. 21 divided by 7 is a whole number.
Yeah, but Dance has been going up all night.
He's always full in when he does this.
Dance has been going up all night.
Oh, my God.
Jason,
trust me.
Jason, see the flop. He loves his hand. Very interesting. I would like to see if he hadn't opened and Dave got involved, how the betting would have gone. I think Jason would have just flatted out of his blind to play him.
Yeah.
And it's something we haven't seen from Duamel much in previous Premier Leagues. He's playing the role of the tight guy right now.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, he had the momentum swing. He got a nice 3-bet with Queen 10, where he took a shot and he was actually dominated, out-flopped Jungleman, and then he got turned. So that was a swing hand. You know, that's again, those are the momentums. Like instead of him going to 330 or 40, he's down to 260, and now the way he probably would have heard a lot more from him if he had got through that hand. But now it's like he's kind of had to tighten up a little.
21 hands. I don't know.
Just don't worry.
15,000.
Of course, this playground poker room, look how it's completely filled up. There's a $100,000 guaranteed tournament, and there's another room next door nearly equal size. They pack them in here.
It's unbelievable. It's always full.
You know, obviously everyone knows this is the premier poker room in Canada, but really, it's got to be top 2 or 3 in all of North America, and certainly for this side of North America. There's nothing on the East Coast or anything that matches this place.
Absolutely.
The cards on the reader, please. Thank you. Call.
Okay, so now, if anyone here had said this is our 55th hand, I would have been delighted, because that was information I was searching for, not 14. Were they able to find a way out of paying?
Check.
Or they were just never betting?
Standard C-bet, I guess.
What was it at?
Seiver was in the big
blind?
blind?
Yeah. They said 10 to 1.
Yeah, Seiver is
14,000.
Seiver's one of those guys that defends a little wider. He's just so confident in his post-flop ability, but you know, this is one I just don't like, right? The Jack 7 off's going to play pretty poorly, and you just find yourself like doing weird stuff when you defend out of the blind.
And this is a what? This is a out of position float, right?
Yeah, reverse float.
He's saying to himself, if Duamel checks the turn, I'm going to bluff the river. Is that the idea?
Or no, I think more so he's hoping he bets the turn. He's going to check raise here. I mean, I just can't. I don't know. I don't think that I think that Duamel with the flush draw 4-5, he's got to bet. There's too many draws. I could see him easily checking back though, and just calling the river. But now he's going with the bet.
33,000.
Yeah, if anything, with Scott calling there, like I don't know. I think
Seiver's got a man up here. I mean, if this was his idea.
That's what I fold. Yeah, I don't know what he's calling with why he's calling that. I just don't like the flat pre. Jack 7 suited, okay. I don't even love it, but all right. But there, I don't know.
Seiver changing course there and Duamel 2 pots in a row.
Laak sitting okay. You know, I mean, really, Rast
but that's the thing I'm thinking. That's one of the lower.
To see how Rast is going to do here.
Is this that like we could have been over for us already, and we still have the hope of not being the next one out. And that's a lot. That's what it feels like.
15,000.
Doesn't it feel huge? Oh. All we gotta do is just survive.
Feels full, man.
One can only hope.
Ooh, this could be action.
Well, it's tricky. How should he think about this, Jason Koon?
I mean, he's going to flat, I think, here. It's just he's got a pair on the button.
15,000.
In position. Tough hand to play versus Duamel. He can have other cards that are over a 7 that make it tough.
It's not going to get any easier from Jason Koon. And he was really curious about a hand that he played yesterday when he flatted.
Check.
2 5s on the button against Esfandiari and then laid it down on the turn.
Check.
And this hand a little bit similar.
Wow, that's a bad card for Jason. I mean, he checked back on the flop thinking he probably has the best hand. And now he's certainly going to think he has the best hand.
Are you in a hand?
So this is a great card for Jonathan to bet because it looks bluffy and he shouldn't have a king. There's 2 out there. How can he have a king? And Jason's definitely calling here.
I mean, that's what it seems like.
Tell you what, the bet on the river can be quite sturdy here. This is, with that check on the flop, which was very cagey by Duhamel, he really might get super paid, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good rivers here that for Duamel, and that's definitely one of them. Even though he probably has Jason on like a mid pair, so like a lot of the mid pairs just smashed. I mean, his range is pretty, in my mind, 5s to 10s. Maybe not even as strong as 10s. So like there's other than 7s, like it's a little scary, but obviously you got to think you're good with the trip kings, and he's going to be betting for value. Definitely, probably 50 to 70,000.
And I do wonder how tough a decision this is going to be for Jason too. Well, we'll see how big the bet is first of all.
This is going to be tough for Jason. This is a weird run out. There was a flush draw on the turn also that came. That Jonathan could have the backdoor flush.
46,000.
Yeah, half pot.
That's kind of on the smaller side. That's just aching to get paid, isn't it?
That's likely getting called. This is kind of unfortunate. Nice fold.
Touch water.
Wow, very nice fold.
Pass.
Food here is awesome, huh?
It's really strong.
You just can only wonder what was the deciding factor and why he did pass in the end. But it was a good one. Lines are going to go up again, Jeff. Not a great level for Brian Rast, for the guys at the bottom.
Nope.
Duamel's pulled himself out of trouble, though.
But this affects Vanessa the most for sure. Now she has 9 big blinds, about 9.
Been a rough go for Brian Rast in the Premier League so far. And he needs a little bit of a miracle, I think.
Yeah, he looks a little fed up, but like Brian, you know, I remember in the 50K Player Championship, Brian was down to like 2 or 3 or 4 blinds, whereas Helmuth had that massive lead, came back. I mean, just takes a little momentum, and he's a dangerous player. So
not if you bubble that. If you bubble, you're out.
Take a hand though. You can't make nothing he can do it. He's holding his head.
Maybe we can be gambling in 220 years.
If we run
really lucky, playing super lucky, and you'll say, Phil, remember that time you said way back when?
Oh wow, that is a nightmare.
Maybe 200 years ago, we'll say, remember that time? All we need to do is
actually
have the
could get off the hook here by
like
just
10 years.
Getting called by Seiver.
Yeah.
If he had 3-bet him, it might have been a little awkward.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of like Koon, just like shit. You know, it sucks, but pretty easy to play. He's going to hit an 8 or not. And Jungleman happens to have one, so it's
we got something going out there for us.
Although Koon did get one out of yesterday.
Just when.
Oh, it's really interesting. I don't know enough about it.
Smashed by the Jungleman.
Solving stuff is incredible.
118 to 1, no problem for the jungle. Flop a flush.
Evolving so fast also.
And you know they had one of those.
If he bets here, he's going a little backwards because obviously there was a lot of talk the other day about how the Jungleman slow played all of his big hands, and he's really gone backwards in this heat. He's fast playing everything.
Jason getting bailed out here by the Seiver flat. Now Seiver, wow, Seiver stat mucks there. It's
oh, he hates it. Oh, Jungleman. Can't I get some action there?
He's going for it all there. He's hoping to get a big pot, you know?
His action would have been different.
I don't know if he would have won. Wow, so I just benefited. I was the benefactor.
Yeah, that sucked.
It's like, but action would have been different. Might have.
More money out there, whatever.
That's a brutal beat.
I kind of knew that.
Is this a shove for you? It's under 10. It has to be a shove, right?
7 raise all in.
Yeah.
All of her bet and yellow.
Don't like it, but just got to do it. Oh, there's that's a customer. He's gonna probably, he's gonna ship it all in. It's over shoving, get some protection. Doesn't want to just flat, even though it's gonna be most likely work out the same. But he'll just ship it.
Seat 1 re-raise all in.
Yeah. She actually has a pretty good matchup. I mean, considering she gets called here, she is live. Ooh, you see that?
Yeah.
King 10. There's.
Fold.
I'll tell you what's not coming out. Yeah, Queen's not coming out, and Rast gonna hope to hold with ace high.
Not dominated.
So big moment for both.
Everyone, you can see everyone sweats it so hard. Look at Phil. Yeah. You would think Phil's in the hand.
You're so right.
But that's how I am too. I mean, every all-in's big. Oh, that's a dry flop for the King 10 suited.
Vanessa Selbst is not going to be satisfied with 1 point, but very likely that's what she's going to end up with.
She's doing the fake get up. This works a high percentage.
2%, Phil says it adds.
Good game, everybody. Good game.
She'll get 3 more cracks at the whip. Vanessa Selbst didn't really go right for her.
There you go. That's the thing. That's a break Rast needed. That was a standard all-in standard call, and now here he is. He's back towards the 300, and that was big.
It's 1 point for Vanessa in her first heat here at the Premier League. Still 3 to go. Talk to me about where it went wrong today.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way I played for the most part. I ran a bluff against Scott in a spot where I have so few hands that I'm ever really bluffing with. I had pocket 3s. I think I'm really only going to bluff with like 3s or 4s with a club in that spot. It just felt like I had enough equity in. And because I do it so infrequently as a bluff, I thought he would fold like monster hands. And, you know, I think given that he shoved on me, I think he must have just had like, he had to have either a boat or like the nut flush. And, you know, that's unfortunate that I ran into a big hand, but I really thought he would fold as strong as like ace queen or ace jack there, maybe even ace king. So I'm not upset with the way I played that hand. Sometimes you have to go for it. And then, you know, I didn't really hit any good hands, just kind of had to navigate a short stack without having great cards. So, you know, ultimately I got king 10 suited under the gun, and there's a double ante, so I have to go with it, and I ran into a big hand, and I'm out.
3 more heats to go, though, so hopefully they go better for you. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
Welcome back to the Playground Poker Club in Montreal, where Season 7 of the Party Poker Premier League is underway. We now have 6 players left. Before the break, Vanessa Selbst was eliminated with just 1 point. Let's get back to the action.
The never-ending bubble of Premier League poker. All these players guaranteed at least 3 points from this heat.
And then 4.
Good news for them. But 14 points available for the winner of this.
4K.
I think it's trying to think who I want to win. I guess Seiver. I don't know if that's right, though.
I think you're right. I think Seiver is a good result for you.
Right, because then he's averaging 7 over 2. Right. Any points I pick up in the second, I'm ahead.
It's hard to figure. My strategy is if I'm unsure what's tactically right, I'd either ask Scott Seiver or Vanessa Selbst, because they just seem to always know. I'm usually pretty confident that Phil Laak knows the answer. It's just whether or not he'll tell you, or whether you have a long enough time to hear the answer.
Phil definitely knows the math on everything.
I thought I was covering, but I didn't realize like I was doing it wrong.
Wow. I love this. And he decides not to, oh my, that is as action as there is. That is the stone action flop.
Well, is this the end of Jason Koon?
This is definitely getting in the middle. This is definitely getting in the middle. And I mean, he still actually has, you see 30%. I mean, he makes a boat enough here. This is going to raise, get in here.
Right, and you know, let's not forget, in heat number 1, Jason Koon, he had such horrible luck. He had the queens, lost to the jacks all in pre-flop. He got, I think he had the 10s, lost to the 5s all in.
Quadded on. He got 1 out at the queens to jacks, by the way.
Now here, things have been going well, and he's just gotten cooler. You almost have to say to yourself that he deserves to see this board pair.
Let's see how Seiver was breathing kind of hard. I don't know. I don't really ever see him give off any information, but he seemed pretty.
Right, and when Koon check raises here, I mean, obviously you have a flush. You love a flush, but you know, there's a chance that Koon has a bigger flush.
These are one of those moments. No, you're not worried about the bigger flush, honestly. But this is what you're worried that he has like a king jack with a jack of diamonds, or like an ace with the ace 5 with the ace of diamonds. Like you know you have the best hand. It's 118-1. There's really no way you flopped the better flush. And so like
you're
vulnerable. Like you know like you have the best hand. This is probably going to get in. Wow, is he just going to call? I mean, I don't know if I like that.
So Seiver's actually right now, he might be prepared to fold if a diamond peels off on
No, he's definitely playing his hand slow. He thinks Jason has a king. If a diamond comes, he's still going to win, because it's just going to be, oh, that's a bit, this is getting in. This is unfortunate, because this is definitely getting in. This is a stone brick. It needed, a diamond would have slowed it down to the point where it might have, if a diamond had come, Jason may either bet or check, and Seiver would check behind, and then the river, it would have been a smaller pot. That was the only way this doesn't get in, is a if it's a diamond on the turn. But there's just no way. I mean, this is as cooler as you can get.
it's about as cooler as there is.
And I don't think Jason Koon has a pot-sized bet back, so it doesn't really feel like he has any option but just an all-in bet. Well,
he's going to rip it. It looks like, just snap all in.
And for Seiver,
I mean, I just don't know what he's doing. He's got to call.
All-in call.
Yeah.
See the frustration
Jason played his hand great. I mean, you take a risk though when you flat. You know, he 3-bets, he just takes it down. But he knew he went for max extraction and got set up, and he still has still a 4-to-1 or still has a 20% chance about to pair this board. And he did it. And he did it. Look at that. Look at that. There he goes. That's like you said, the kid almost got a root.
It's 190.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That is the first bit of good fortune Jason Koon has had in the Premier League, and it's at the expense of Scott Seiver.
I love Jason. I mean, talk about just what a big mental swing that is. You're telling me he now is chip leader versus getting, what, 3 points? He would have had 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So he's got 6 points. He's literally on life tilt, and now he's in there.
Looking to power through for 14 points.
Looking for 14.
And for Scott Seiver, who was cruising, let's not forget, Seiver had the bagel. So anything that's not top 3 for him in this heat is going to be a disaster.
That is the pot of the Premier League for sure. I mean, that puts Scott at $1 million. Jason's just, someone's got to watch him tonight, and now Scott's got to be feeling. He had this match in check, and now he's no guarantee for top 3.
So Phil's thinking of
so
something.
sick, but
now he has about 24 big blinds. Is it 23 anyway?
Phil's got the right idea here. See, I like this. This is poker. This isn't Phil just like, oh, I have this or that. This is like, all right, Duamel's raising. He's whatever. I'm thinking about shipping it.
23 big blinds, Duamel has to fold a lot of hands. It's a big 3-bet. I mean, King 10, he obviously has to fold, but he might even have to fold like Ace 10.
Oh, my goodness. I love Phil's, like, all in but not all in.
This is Phil Laak at his best, right?
Phil's great.
This
is great. I mean, this is going to work.
2,000 total.
I mean, it's such a goodness.
Wow.
Wow, I did not.
And actually, it's such a strong move by Laak that this is not automatic. I mean, 9s is a big hand here, but how automatic is it?
Well, I think Koon, if he didn't have Duamel to think about here, he's probably going to go for it. He's got 600,000. Phil could easily have a lower pair here, and I think he thinks he's good most of the time.
But if you're Koon, you can say to yourself, by folding, a lot of good things happen to me. First of all, Duamel might take him on, and that's great for me, right?
Made it 132? 132, yeah.
I mean, Phil's bet sizing is like, I love the raise on Duamel, but like,
God, I think Jason's going to pass here. No, tactically, I mean,
how many is Duamel?
In his mind, Laak is never so bad where he has 2 undercards. I mean.
Laak's gonna get this through.
Well, I guess you're not folding if I shove, right?
And to be honest, that's when you know how strong a move is. Where you get a guy to fold those 2 9s behind you.
Oh man, Jason's gonna kick himself when he sees that one.
I like my bet sizing.
I like my bet sizing. Like a 3-bet commit.
I like my bet.
He lives on the edge, Mr. Laak. Yeah, this is what you love about
When I have a hand that I
League.
feel is worth betting, boys and girls, I'm not afraid to put in a little bit, but save some for the flop in case I miss. I had a little bluffing stack, not a lot.
Phil did that last year and folded 10,000 behind.
Really?
That's right.
Bet size is important, and some of the greatest scientists of poker have said, leave a little bit extra just in case.
Good on. Fold. Thank you. Fold.
Always save something for the flop.
Fold.
Like, there he goes.
You guys are fun to gamble with, though. I do love gambling with you guys, whether I can have a hand or not. I like just getting in there and seeing flops and seeing what happens. It's fun. It's exciting. You guys make me crazy,
So what do you think Scott Seiver's going to be saying to himself right now about how he should proceed? Because he's still got a healthy stack, but he's got to be very careful.
That was such a big swing, and here he is with like a weird dynamic, Rasty raising. and he just calls the ace-6 suited. He probably would have 3-bet if he had those chips before. Now, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely going to be on the on the side of caution.
You're the best kid. You know what, though?
Although you did see, Scott earlier with the queen jack off versus Vanessa at the start, putting in some pressure. Like, he's not afraid for sure.
Yeah, he's looking to play hands because he feels like he has such a big edge.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. Look at him. He's just out of position, flowing with the ace-6 suited. Got the backdoor flush draw.
That was
10
float.
It's a little weird. The jack-7 was very strange. This makes a little more sense. He actually thinks he could have the best hand. Even though it's a pretty bad board. I mean, unless Rast has like the 6, the 8, 9 high. I mean, he's gonna have a 10 high, a straight already, or open end. I mean, it's just pretty close.
The more you learn, the more you realize, oh wow, I'm just supposed to be like a
You can tell he's slightly steamed. I mean, and this is what happens when you call out blinds,
like Jungleman. He's supposed to swing through the vines, the ropes.
It shouldn't even really be weird. I mean, yeah, he's just done with that.
1-bet, 51,000.
Rast probably willing to stack
off
there.
One of my blitzes is gambling with you guys, but
there we go.
as much as I love it, I gotta get a little something right.
Everything else is evened out.
You guys can bankrupt a kid like me, you know?
Brian Rast is new to the Premier League, but is no stranger to playing in some of the biggest cash games and tournaments in the world, as we found out.
My name is Brian Rast. I've been playing poker for like 9 or 10 years. I feel like I'm pretty well known and respected within a circle of poker professionals who know, like, I've been playing high stakes cash games for a long time. I mean, I go to Macau, I play in the biggest games there. I play in the biggest games every summer in Vegas. But there's a lot of people that don't know that. And I feel like this is an opportunity for me to, go play a bunch of good players and show that I can hang. And I enjoy the challenge. I'm ready for that. I haven't played many of these televised events, really. I mean, this is one of the first ones. Everyone at this event really knows each other. So if I just came out and basically won the first one I played, that'd be a pretty bold statement. Beyond just bragging rights with my friends, the most important reason is, the statement it makes about my career and the money. But, bragging rights with your friends is always nice at the end of the day, too.
More action from the Playground Poker Club as Heat 2 continues from the Party Poker Premier League.
I like my bet sizing.
Yeah! Wow, the free, yeah. Kid does not play live. Guys, look at Phil right now.
How you want to concentrate now with this guy right there? That's good, I love it.
You're watching the Party Poker Premier League here in Montreal. We have a table of 6 here for Heat 2 as Dan Shack and Vanessa Selbst have already left the table. Who will be next? Jesse May and Jeff Gross are your commentators.
Blinds 4 and 8,000. It's short stack is still Phil locked, but he's got nearly 30 big blinds, which gives him options, a lot of options, and enough time.
Thanks. Seat 1 raised 17,000.
Certainly Brian Rast is taking advantage of the opportunity to open up his game a little bit. He's got a few gambling chips now, doesn't he?
Yeah, interesting, just call, not a 3-bet. Ace-8 off, probably would have 3-bet him. Ace-8, he likes the value in it, just flats. And now Laak with the dicey. These are the spots where I think Laak's gonna, he normally, he knows this is a dicey thing, and wow. I mean, that is quite something. I'll say this. I do like that he's raising instead of calling, because the hand just plays poorly with out of position with 3 people in there, especially against Super Wizard and Wizard. And this is going to probably work.
Problem for Laak is that it's a little bit of an awkward stack size. I mean, he obviously cannot. He can't 3-bet fold, so essentially he's 3-bet jamming.
His sizing is off. His sizing's too much. It's a great. I love the raise. I just again, it's like.
Or he could 3-bet fold, but not the way he made it.
So Jungleman happens to flat 2 queens or kings or aces, and what's he gonna? He's gonna fold. I guess he would, but that's why I don't like. But I love his raises. The sizing is I don't like, but then again, it's unconventional. And
I wouldn't have folded.
It's hard. It's hard to read. It's easier up here. seen what he has and what others have. But like at the table, if you're jungling, you have even like ace jack there. It's like, wait, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Like what do I do? It's just like,
essentially, he 3-bet jammed like nearly 30 bigs. You know?
Right. He's having fun now. He's chipping up. He's in the zone.
He really
he's
is.
0 on the 1 round. Like, he's feeling good.
Actually, I mean, you have to say, since the break, he's come back and played a stormer. Like, he's played the game.
Yeah, I'd say Phil was playing the stone worst, like, ever, that I've ever seen, and now he's playing probably, he's playing well. I'll say he's playing well.
He said he was most improved at the last level. I mean, he could hardly have gotten any worse. I mean, he really was. And I'm sure he'll admit it.
That's how he does it, though. He's a premier, you know, he's a veteran here. He's done really well in this.
He has, and of course also in the big games, and he eats up televised.
He looks
poker.
like a little like Negreanu here. He's getting these suited connectors, and he wants to play. I mean, is he gonna? He's just gonna pass it. I think he's gonna decide to pass, but
it is a pass, isn't it? It is a pass, right?
Wow, it is. But against Rast, he's calling.
I'm calling because, you know what? King Rast.
Calling because every single pot that we've played so far, you've won. I don't
I've been running lucky too. I check.
Interesting. So he has a great flop for his hand, but now this is where it gets tricky, right? Because it's hard to play these kind of hands, like unless you really make a hand. He's just nicked it, and you got one of the best who's willing to go a couple streets on you.
26,000.
I think so. And that's why Rast is a tough customer, because like he certainly might fire this on the turn, and Phil's going to be in a very tough spot on this turn, right? A lot of times.
I think he's going to raise instead of just call, but
wow, really?
I think based on how he's been playing.
What's the idea?
To find out where you're at, because he's going to get. He doesn't want to just get strung along. If Rast does have an overpair, he finds out, and if not, Rast will go away with his big 2 cards. Rast will fold if he makes it 68 or 70,000.
And you're giving the guy the chance to jam on you with hands like 10 Jack and 10 Queen, but that's fine.
The one good thing about folding a hand like this is a guy like Jeff Gross says, Phil, we've got more home games for you to come to. You know, like, and I don't mind getting invites because of what they see here. You know, they know that I'm trying to do the right thing. I don't get it right all the time. It's tough guys. Tough player. I might get another invite right there.
Yes, I won one versus Phil. Oh.
How good does that feel?
It's not about that.
If you have any idea how tight I play against you, you'd have no idea. I have like, not Tupperware tight. We're talking, you know, Ziploc bag inside of Tupperware.
I can't wait to find out what you had on that one hand.
I want to find out this hand. I think I had to beat.
I think Phil was so impressed with his stack that he just didn't want to bomb it off there, you know, and like he talked himself out of raising to 70.
You guys did the razzle dazzle on me that time. I raised with a very good hand pre-flop, like one of those really nice, you know,
sounds like
it
it was
like
King Jack bullets in a row. It's definitely an offsuit. I was guessing King 9 off.
It's got to be a treat when you play so many hands and so aggressive, and when you do get that, you know, you know that you're going to get a little more action than most players.
I know the hands you like, and I know how wide you go, but this is way towards middle top.
All right.
Like if you're folding those hands, just go home. You know,
just go home.
Everybody knows the Jungleman calls. He's a peeler,
I'm
a
past
defender,
the middle.
along lines.
King 9, I nailed it.
This should be a pretty uneventful. Oh, that's you got a piece. Jungleman doesn't have the spade though, and Duhamel does. I mean, Jungleman's definitely not just check folding though. I'll tell you that.
Not the King 10, you're not.
It's a bad flop.
King 9 is not a contender for my hand.
He got one of the better flops you can ask for.
He seems to make great decisions later in hands, Jungleman. I just have this feeling that he might be prepared to fold the turn.
This could get a little uglier. If it's a bad, all right, that's a card that he can save some money on. But if that were a low card, like a really, if that were a dud, I think he's going to look at Warren.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most instrumental guys in gaming through Europe and the world.
Mr. Lush, of course, people are saying, what does Warren Lush have?
A social cat that all the people want to hang out with.
What does Warren Lush have to do here? This is the first Premier League without Tony G.
I know, right?
Thanks, man.
That was a bummer. I've never played with Tony a lot.
Not just one.
And Duamel, obviously, he checked the turn behind thinking, well, I can get an extra street of value here. Against hands like,
you know, it's funny.
Yeah.
The Jungleman knows that too. Like he probably actually thought the king hit him. He might have thought he had the best hand and then he doesn't. And this actually board's kind of gross for aces a little bit, but I mean, he has the ace of spades, so he knows Jungleman cannot. He's not going to raise him.
Higher, you know, higher Warren.
He knows he can bet there pretty safely.
Jonathan, you won that pot.
Yeah, I did.
And you were under the gun and you did it.
I was.
Some of the best here.
John's unstoppable. And the best part, Jungleman's feeling the heat now.
He is rather unstoppable, Duamel, of course. One of the
1-1-1-0.
anytime you win the main event, you've shown that you can plow your way through anything.
How is it possible?
Certainly did. One of the toughest final tables, I think,
for sure.
As well played goes.
You had it all,
I feel like Jason Koon's got some mojo right here. He's, you know, he's almost got this indomitable will to win in this thing.
Now you can see Jason with the it's just open and Rast now. Rast decides to pass it up, which I'm a little surprised, but I like. I mean, that's like getting a hand in this format and this kind of thing. It's like you're opting to play big pots and not necessarily be in the best of it. And I like that he folded there, even though I think he's been more inclined to play those kind of hands so far. And I like that he folded that.
Right. I mean, as you mentioned, the stacks are more even now, which it almost gives you less of. Does it give you less incentive to step out? You know, the guy who steps out is taking a big risk right now.
For sure. Yeah, I think so. Duamel with the 9-10 off. Ooh, interesting. Not going to probably be too exciting with pot.
Check. C8 check.
Gives him a free one, but
does he do that?
Well, because there's really in his mind, the only bad cards are a queen, 10, or an ace. An ace obviously is terrible because it counterfeits his hand and like it's gonna be hard for him to get paid. I mean, that was a bad card for him, but he still thinks he probably has the best hand. He might get a bet out of Duhamel, but I think he's just gonna probably
C5 check.
Got to bet something.
What was that hand? Not the one
C8 bet
that I won, but the one that you won. What was the flop again? That big one?
I like the way Jason Koon has played this. I have no idea why.
You mean like where I bet the flop
it's a bit odd.
60?
16, yeah.
If Duamel had anything, he might have to.
Duamel's thinking of raising.
The one that I was really curious
he's
about.
obviously not calling, so he's probably just going to throw this away. But he could raise, but obviously not.
Yeah, that one. Oh, that was it.
Koon's got a little chip lead going now.
He does. And it'll be new. You know, we have yet to see him in the Premier League with a chip lead. Do you think he's going to open up his game? I guess that's the right way to think.
It was my hero folded tonight.
Yeah, I think Jason plays very solid. I think he's going to open the right hands to open. He's going to make the right folds. Maybe you see him venturing a little out of that, but you know, Seiver, you saw when he had the chip lead raising the Jack 7s and the playing a little too many.
Which got him in trouble, yeah.
Trend starter.
So I don't know if you'll see him raising those kind of hands, but like Queen Jacks, Queen Kings, Ace 10s, depending on the spot. Like here, yeah, Queen Jack, he passes, he sees who's in the blind. He sees Jungleman, right, who's going to defend, and he just, Rast is in position. He's just deciding it's not a good spot to open. If it was Phil's button, he'd probably open.
Kind of like, I guess it's kind of like you've got your army there.
C2 raise 18,000
to battle, whereas here you gotta break down the tower.
That's a lot of it. That's easily like
fighting. He doesn't mind taking on Phil Laak in the big blind. And this, yes, is a spot where the Jungleman was 3-betting in heat number 1.
Broken down into effective small groups.
And it'll be interesting to see if Seiver's got a plan for this.
70,000.
He can't. There's not a lot of a plan. He's got the points are too important.
Look at this 3-bet. It's to 70,000.
It's pretty sick.
Fold.
And Scott's just
has a lot of answers.
After a whole night of doing relatively small in position re-raise, when to just bomb it to 70K.
He is. I love that about Jungleman.
1438. 1438. 1870.
Yeah, you know, he has all. He actually, either he didn't realize how much he raised.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
You made it 70,000.
That's just unbelievable.
He just didn't realize. six-handed right now, and Brian Rast has he probably had a little bit of a character test in the middle stages there. He passed it with flying colors, and now
as expected.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of
you can see he's more upright. His posture, he seems a little more involved. I like Rast have a really strong finisher. I think he's gonna
more in this
pick it up.
are very uppity. They fight hard.
Phil Laak has been the shortest or the second shortest stack, I think, at every stage.
Yeah, I knew. I thought maybe.
Yep. But he's a survivor. He'll tell you himself. That's what he does. He's a survivor.
I think you have to love the way he's played these last two levels. You have to.
I mean, I will say I like a lot of his intuition to make some re-raises. I think his bet sizing's pretty, he's committed himself on some pretty marginal spots where like he could get the same job done with a lot less chips. But everyone has a style, and that's Phil's style to do different stuff.
So I guess the idea is, do I jam here against the Jungleman?
The deuces just sucks when you get called even against anything. You're just like whatever, and he's gonna give it up. Nice, I like that.
Of course, Koon has a little bit of a different spot. He's got some chips, and he is also chip leader.
3-bet coming here. See, I like this. He's not flatting with this hand. He gets in trouble. He's trying to find out where he's at right now. And in this particular case, if he flatted, he's gonna most likely lose or chop. Oh
wow! What a spot for Brian.
This is what I'm saying. Rast just had to get a little something going.
And this is basically the best thing that's happened to him in the Premier League so far. He's going to get to pick up that 100,000.
I love Rast, man. His live presence, like here, he is taking his time, figuring it out, doing all the scenarios he's running through. He doesn't just rush bomb it in.
But that is the play to bomb it in.
Yeah, I'm saying just doesn't snap go all in. I mean, he takes his time. He thinks about it. He's checking all the stack sizes. He's just going through all the scenarios and what he wants to do and what he thinks they have.
It's such a big bet, that 72, that if he flats there, they just smell a rat anyway, right? I mean, it's not like...
Village or something on the coast.
Yeah, so again, this is kind of a Scott Seiver sizing out of the blind, the 72, right? He's inducing, he doesn't want to be called, and he wants to make it expensive for the guy in position. So he's taxing him over three times. He's raising, a lot of guys do these cute raises, sometimes to 48 or whatever. But with Jungleman, he likes playing flops, right? So like you can't give him that price. You don't, especially. So he's making it big, making Jungleman decide, do you have a hand to play for all of it or not, and this is just going to work. And I like Jason that too, how he knows what he's doing. He does it in Hollywood. Some guys might like tank for 2 minutes with the King Jack when they know they're folding, but Jason's direct and just gets rid of it.
He was probably mentally halfway out the door with Premier League, Brian Rast, but now look at him. King Rast is back.
Rast, what about Koon? He's a river, 20%, getting cooler 2 days in a row to having, what, 3 and 3? Is that what you would have got, or 1 at the time?
And the indications are quite good for you right now, Jeff, because it looks like a couple of the guys who had no points in the first heat are going to get points now, keep everybody, and if you pick up some points in heat number 3, you could sail.
Yeah, for sure. That's the next heat's huge. It's like a free roll kind of. I mean, I'm just in any points I get are going to be sweet. So yeah, I got a strategy again. We'll see how it goes. See if I get some criticism or see what happens.
Of course, where the tactics start to really come into play is when it's not just about how a player has to do, but which players they need to see go out and which players they don't mind to see stay in. And that all dictate, even just in a very minor way right now, of course, Scott Seiver wants to see guys like Brian Rast and Koon do badly.
Well, here's Koon, who, here's our answer to your question. He's going to open it up, and there he is with the 10-8 on the button. And he actually is chipped down from his, he was at about 600 chip leader. Now it's a little more tight in the middle. He's like tied. Rast is actually chip leader by a couple thousand, but yeah, he's opening it up.
Did you see my new Bruce Lee t-shirt?
Is this a time?
Different states of ready.
No.
C-Date check.
He's quite the man. He's a legend,
So what are his states? I guess
he was just on point all the time.
Seiver's got to bet small here, I think. Hopefully Koon can call it like somehow had a queen like 9 or 10 or an 8, 9 might call.
35,000.
But I think this is just going to. Nice. He thinks he loses when he calls it.
Exactly. He's positive he's lost, and he's won the pot. he gave a real grimace. So it has to be an ace there. And I guess it was just kind of one of those things where he felt like he had to bet because he knows if he checks, Koon's going to bet the ace, and he feels like he has to pay it off.
Well, I think he's actually betting, I think, because he thinks Koon will check back those 8s and 7s.
Right.
And, like, if he has an ace, just an ace,
money goes in either way.
Yeah, he can't raise them.
Right.
He's just going to call anyway, so if he's like he's getting that value of those 8s.
I mean, Phil Laak calls it a value bluff blocking bet.
Yeah, something like that.
I swear.
Wow, it's cold. You can feel it. You can feel how cold it is.
The sick part is, as well as Phil has turned around the disaster he had going, he's still about double the next lowest. He's the lowest. The next guy has about double his stack. So I mean, he's in jeopardy of getting this. Is it 3 or?
You have 3 points for the next player out. So the pressure hasn't really released, has it?
Someone went out the door.
Feel like,
Jeff,
that if he does hang in there for a little while longer, somebody's going to blow up because it just feels like you know, the play's getting a little bit sloppy down there. Seiver feels like he's about to go off, and you know.
Yeah, but sure enough, look at this. Look at these stacks. It almost can't be more even. I mean, it's getting there. It's between 5 and 360, other than Phil. Pretty tight.
So Rast raised this from the. Excuse me. Did Duamel open this and Rast flatted on the button? Okay.
Yeah, Rast got a really pretty hand. That is a nice starting hand. Duamel had the best flop here. Oh, Jungleman's in there too with the straight draw.
Yeah,
it's an interesting hand.
From the big blind.
Duamel loves his hand with the backdoor hearts.
Nice, right?
Well, the question is, what is Jungleman going to do with this up and down?
Oh,
He's never folding. His draw is so sneaky. The 7-4, he hits an 8 or a 3 in his mind. I mean, that's just, you can't see it.
And the thing is, I guess he's done it here. It's
C3 re-raise 75,000.
It's so easy for Jungleman actually to have something like 2 pair here because everybody knows he plays all combinations of cards.
Yeah,
you know, Jack 6 is in his range.
Yeah, Jonathan might be. This is the spot though where there's no flush draw. The only straight draw, he has the nut straight draw. So like, even though he may think he has the best hand, it's kind of this is a hairy spot, and I think he's going to continue though.
I wonder if he has to pass the turn, though, Duamel. I mean, he does not want to stick a whole bunch of chips in here.
The thing is, though, if it's a non-heart, like, big card, this is actually really interesting. I hope, see a brick here. I'm very curious how this will go. And that's not a brick.
That's how you do it when you win the World Series Poker main event.
Look at that.
You just smash it on the turn.
Wow, you know what? Jungleman's going to think he's going to rep this 7-8.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Jungleman has to pound it, doesn't he?
I think. With this line. He's going for a blast.
You kind of got a feel for the Jungleman here. Yeah. It's really hard to put Duamel on the straight here. I mean, it's impossible. He raised under the gun for crying out loud. Although,
wow, he went super thin, right? 45 into like 230. He's like saying, all right, I got this straight. Like, you want to pay it off? 45 off. So,
and you know I'm going to blast the river. That's what he's saying to Duamel.
Duamel's just, there's the flush draw, but he's just got to just call. Yep. Duamel, this is high level poker both ways. Unfortunately, he's repping the hand that Duamel has. He could definitely. I think he's putting a big bet out here.
He's gonna rip it.
There's 316 in there. How much behind? I don't know how much they started. They put in.
And it all makes sense. I mean, it's a bit unlucky for Jungleman because he should rip it here, right? I mean, he should try and get. Duamel could easily have the aces or the kings, and probably needs to fold.
You got to know your guy. He's not with Duamel just calling. He knows Jungleman's not a guy that has 3-4 and just check gives up.
Right.
You know.
Right.
He just doesn't. He's not that guy. All in. Yeah.
C3 bet all in.
And a call.
All in call.
Nothing. Turn your hands up. You got to turn your hands up.
Look at Seiver immediately. Turn your hand over. He just loves he knows that he's beat, and he just loves seeing the Jungleman.
And I mean, Jungleman knows he made a good play there. He's frustrated.
And there he goes, the hometown guy just finds his way, emerging up top, been quiet. Now he's got a nice lead, 300,000.
Yeah, he's Montreal through and through, Jonathan Duamel. And for Jungleman Daniel Cates, his head hurts. Plenty more still to come from Duhamel's hometown of Montreal when the Premier League continues after the break.
You've got the best hand, whatever happens.
Oh God, come on.
I mean, what the hell? It's bike time. Yeah!
Can you shut up for a bit, because I'm actually thinking.
Oh, sweat. Boom! Let's go!
This is the first time I've ever heard Tom Dwan be excited about the chance of folding.
I want to fold, but I just felt like I couldn't.
That's the bit. Do it.
I had the G on the ropes there, and you've just told him you had the nuts.
It's driving me crazy.
I'm not going to listen to Tony anyway. He clearly has no idea what he's doing.
I'm not getting any respect.
I got to deal with the stare down just to steal a freaking blind.
Everyone's a winner.
Scott Seiver, well deserved from start to finish.
Yeah.
Still six-handed as we go to 6 and 12,000 here. Heat number 2 of Premier League Poker 7. And check out Phil Laak.
I had 290 back. I thought
making an entrance with,
yeah.
well, I think he's come straight from the ski slopes.
Wow.
Obviously, Jeffy's trying to change his luck, maybe change his aura. Have you ever seen Phil in this kind of get up before?
We always need those, right?
10, right? 612.
Yeah, this is I've heard about it. I've never personally seen it, but I've heard he dressed up as an old man at the World Series. He's done a couple things, but
good.
Yeah.
And he needs a little help, of course. He's 5th out of 6 stacks, Daniel Cates, after dumping all his chips off to Jonathan Duamel, severely short-stacked.
25,000.
Oh, Seiver's getting right into it.
That's all we're going to do. People do it.
But not both of you.
Huh?
You know, with these blinds, I mean, even Seiver is not. No one's in fantastic shape.
Yeah, Seiver's got the goose egg too, so I mean, he's showing no fear. Ace-3 off.
And wow, working out for Phil Laak. Put on the ski shades and pick up the hooks. One thing Laak hasn't been doing, he hasn't been open shoving. I mean, or just jamming. He usually saves something back. He's got 245,000. I guess he's got to make it at least, what, 80, 90 here?
All his 3-bets have been like pot committal, huge. So I don't know. We'll see what he does with the real hand. He hasn't had hands when he's done this, so I think he's a little confused having a real hand.
Scott Seiver, you know what I'm gonna raise right now? This is the amount. I'm putting out this
Seiver
amount.
Can't even call them in 3-bet here. That hand is
it's a lot.
Nowhere.
Fold. One there.
The shield, the cushion from the acoustic prowls of your vampire minds. Maybe the shielding is working. Maybe I found a way to run through the forest.
And 2,000, please.
I'm actually scared so far.
Look at that, huh? You can see the accuracy of my first one. Here's the second.
It's a nice start back, Phil. Up to almost 300. He still hasn't crossed the 300 mark, but he's getting close.
I mean, he was nailed on for the bagel early on in this heat. Now, you have to say, he's well in this with a chance to grab at least 7 or 9 points.
27,000.
We saw Phil Laak play those exact same cards, but Phil was doing it off of about 11 big blinds, and of course it's different when you're the chip leader.
Too much for my hand, young man.
Oh, Phil. This is as good as it gets.
Call 27.
And Scott Seiver, of course, every pot he enters right now is fraught with danger.
The more something.
Check.
He can hardly afford to lose
the last
a pot.
part was.
I said almost that. It's close.
30,000.
Or something like that.
Pretty good flop for ace 4.
What was the actual comment? Something like that.
Younger might.
Not ideal spot, especially
more
with his
likely
whole
they are
dynamic. But he's
against
gonna keep going.
Call it 30,000.
He's just like king of the floats, isn't he?
Not us.
Yeah,
He just does not lay down on the flop.
Yeah,
He
Jungle,
thinks he has the best hand now. It's gonna be interesting to see if he can
Everyone pays you off too,
continue.
Jungle. They want to see the mind.
He probably does have the best hand a lot with the ace high now, doesn't he? I mean, he knows Duamel's opening wide, right?
Yeah, Jack Deuce Rainbow. It's pretty safe.
Simply seems like if I overbet shit, like then I get called.
So Jonathan deciding whether to barrel this turn, and that's aggressive, right? I mean, he's sort of challenging Scott to check raise him, right?
He's finding out if he has a jack or not, and he again probably is very aware that Seiver got a bagel in the first one, so it's going to be hard for him to keep going without a jack, or at least he's going to put some pressure on him.
I mean, the amount of guts it would take Seiver to stick in a raise here, he'd be putting his Premier League on the line. And,
oh wow!
And is a raise better than a call? No, I guess. Wow.
He just.
Wow, he's holding on with the ace high. And this is it for.
Oh, what a miracle!
Check.
Does he know
now he thinks he's definitely good.
Does he know?
He was in there blind. He was in there wrong on the turn. Oh, this is gonna. This
Hey,
is
look at Duhamel's face.
Oh wow!
What a sicko.
That was pretty sick, wasn't it?
Wow, that is. I mean, the swing of emotion for him there is big. That's a big pop. 335. He's at 455. He would have been at like 210.
Yeah, Scott.
Like Lazarus, Seiver back from the.
Look at that. I mean, I'm telling you, the look on the face would have been. Oh man, would have been quite different than that.
Fairly gutsy call on the turn by Seiver, and he's rewarded.
That's why
What a miracle.
they're like the same level of awesome.
Boy, he had to dig down in the dirt.
Phil had a little caffeine at dinner. He's ready to go. He has got pep in his step.
Yeah, we all hear Keen.
I was talking about Andrew Lichtenberger. He's probably got the chops to play in this Premier League.
About 120. 10 blinds. 110.
Jungleman has
25,000.
just over 11 big blinds.
Oh, Seiver woke up.
Yeah, and these guys have a bit of history. I mean, Seiver has either flatted or 3-bet. Well, the majority of the times that Rast is raised in late position. So, although he is in the small blind this end, you foresee sort of one of those oversized 3-bets now coming from Scott?
Yeah, he's going to make it over 3 times. That's kind of his MO for out of the blind. He's going to make it over 75 for sure. He always does that.
And obviously he likes it now, but
yeah,
would Rast jam it here? I mean, he would.
These are one of those spots where like 10s are so big, and you're just like, if Rast puts it in, I mean, Rast is one of those guys capable. It doesn't really matter, and he's not bound to his hand for sure.
As you said before, Jeff, I mean, you can't really do it because you are putting your Premier League on the line right now, and that's.
Yeah, and again, Rast is not the King 4 is. Most people may just shrivel up. Now, Rast is definitely seriously considering all options.
It's too big a 3-bet to peel here, even in position, isn't it?
I mean, that's kind of why Scott does it. He makes you decide whether he balances his range, if he has ace 4 here, or king 9, or he has a big hand, and it makes it tough because you can't really flat. You got to tell him, all right, I'm going to come after you or not.
Scott Seiver made it 80,000 there. Did you see that, Sir Jungleman? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
I saw it. Jonathan, you saw it. Jason, you probably
Seiver with a little Jamba Juice at dinner.
We are all camera guys probably
come out fighting.
Crazy.
That 4 is so big. I mean, the swing with Koon filling the river, Seiver, just even a pot like that, you don't think about what a big difference it is. I mean, it's everything, and you can just see it. Now he's up to 500 all of a sudden. He's in second. Big difference there.
He's got blinds.
It's true, blinds are big, and obviously the only positive thing for any of these players is to see the back of someone as they walk towards the rail, because then you're picking up points.
Yeah, Jungleman's got 11 big blinds.
Oh.
The third one.
They said the turn.
What I love about Jungleman, even though he's only got 11 big blinds, you know if he gets raised here in the big blind, he'll just flat it. He'll defend. He can defend him in raised 11 bigs.
Oh.
All in.
All in.
Oh.
Call.
Yeah.
All in call.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow, the free,
perfect spot
Kid does
for
not
Jungleman.
play live. Right? I mean,
that's your showers.
does not have live experience.
Sorry, Jungle. Guys, come on.
Yeah, just chop it off, dude. Keep it friendly.
Just clubs in the door.
Keep it friendly.
What about this? What about
That's action. That will not be chopped.
Don't think
John, he knows.
Don't think they're going to be chopping this one.
Not on the turn. I don't want to see it on the turn. Keep it for the river. Keep it for the river.
Whenever I see all-ins like this, I always lose. So I'm feeling pretty good actually.
Oh my God! It's gonna be the sneaky 6-6.
That's even better, right? They do it well. That's good. I love it. I love it. I gotta be like 95% favorite right now.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
He goes like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy plays like 1,000, 2,000 cash for millions of dollars. He wins an 8 big blind hand in like one part of a tournament and goes like this.
Yeah, loves it.
Love the intensity.
He does. He is a man who's in the moment, Jungleman.
Or maybe I might have folded the best hand.
Something. Is he like 6-7 suited or something?
Jungleman in a spot right now where he's actually got too many chips to just open shove. So he's having to play a little tight.
2 jacks are gone.
Yeah, he's tired after dinner. He's yawning.
Raised to 26,000.
He just played the 9-5.
Oh, this is going upstairs from Phil.
This is pretty automatic.
You can tell Phil has he 3-bet with the 8-6 of clubs or 7-5 on Duamel. You can tell he definitely thinks Duamel opens wide. So this is in this spot. He's definitely gonna raise.
Terminator with all the numbers going for him.
Phil might have a problem here if he actually shows that he's raising and can raise fold. I mean, I wonder if Duamel might shove this.
I mean, it's suited King Queen. It's a pretty good hand for Duamel. It's his first. They're both their first heats. This will be interesting. Phil's sizing so big though, always, that I mean he's probably gonna raise commit again. I mean, it's an awkward spot. This is interesting.
I guess there's advantages and disadvantages to Phil's sizing. In this particular spot, knowing what the hands are, you're almost willing him to try to overdo it here. Because if he doesn't,
they're just like random nonsense, right?
Duamel, man.
You're talking about how they just had graphs of random.
I mean, 65 would be a good sizing, and Phil's probably going to go like 140.
Depends what you're referring to.
It's maybe like 120.
I just already had like my charts that didn't.
Wow, this is.
Now what is that a fold?
I've never seen that.
Oh.
He's got all the tricks.
I've never seen that either.
Was that 120 or 110? I mean, it's like, yeah, 65 spout should be the normal raise. Just go double.
And from 4 interface.
94,000.
Okay, that's slightly more reasonable than normal, but still big.
It really is in Duamel's wheelhouse to kind of 4-bet shove here with the King Queen, isn't it?
It's an awkward spot for Duamel. Just can't really call.
And we'll make an inquiry with Scott Seiver to find out what I have at the end of this hand. Scott's one of the best. I'll have a conversation with him, and you'll all be able to panel him.
Post-mortem wrap?
Post-mortem wrap. I will be as honest and deceitful as I can. A good mix. I'll try to do my best to defend it.
As I can. I will do my best.
How you want to concentrate now with this guy right there?
And those are my last words. Those are my last words. Now I'm a quiet person.
You win.
Strong. Phil, let me see the Bruce Lee shirt.
Wow, he passed it. He got it through
Wow,
again.
so good.
Ace. Ace 6. You guys are tough. But with Bruce Lee as my men.
Do you think maybe Duamel just didn't want to shove King Queen into a guy wearing ski goggles and get shown the Ace King? I mean, does he actually put people off with this? Does it work?
I don't know what I mean, people are just, I don't know.
12,000.
Yeah, this was looking like it was going to go fast. Here it is, 6-handed, and everyone's pretty tight.
Right, we were 6-handed at 10-20,000 in heat number 1, and all of a sudden, that doesn't look that unlikely for this lineup.
24,000.
Bunched up, nobody's in a hurry to go anywhere.
Wow. Oh, wow, Jungle. That's a
Did Scott Seiver open for 14? Is that
fold for him?
24. Call, 24.
Oh, here's Phil.
And
who was opting for super tight play today, and his wheels are spinning.
I mean, is this a spot to squeeze?
I think he's debating on calling. He's got a suited connector. He could decide he's going to try to hit a straight, a flush, or two paired, or get out. And he's not going to go broke on a
Scott and Jonathan, I put in the money.
lot of flops, but
I'm going to hopefully see 3 cards right now.
You kind of have to call if you're Koon here. Look at the pot odds. What is it? You get 8 to 1? Lordy.
yeah, this is where you really have to, at this point, if you're going to come in pots like this, you have to be willing to literally have like a lock hand. You know, if you hit an 8 on an 8-4 deuce, it can get tricky.
Jungle, you don't have any cards.
So you're looking for open-ended flop, 2 pair chips.
Check. Check.
A little something for everybody. More for Scott Seiver, though.
Four-handed, that's King Jack's nice, but there's a lot of draws there could be there, and it's a little bit of a interesting with if you were to get re-raised by someone, what do you do? I wonder how much consideration Duhamel's giving to the bagel factor for Seiver. I wonder how much he's like thinking about that. This being his first heat, he's already got points locked up. I think that's something you could see he's thinking here.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, he didn't really have to play very tactically in last season's Premier League because he just won right off the bat and was always ahead. But it is, right, for that reason, a little raise here would look strong.
Oh, yeah. He could make it like 130, and Scott's going to have a problem continuing.
And like 2 7s or 2 4s is definitely in his wheelhouse here. He would have flatted on the button with those kind of hands,
Yeah,
right?
he could also flat it bigger than Jack's. I mean, knowing that the whole dynamic, that would make sense. Is it? Yeah, 130. That's a good size. It's gonna be a tough spot.
128,000.
Yeah, 130. That's a good size. It's gonna be a tough spot.
Can you break down the greens?
I mean, Scott Seiver does cover Duhamel, but not by that much, where he's loving getting it in here.
Calling's there's too many bad cards.
You don't want to call and reevaluate.
He's just, he's going to go out there here, I think, or find,
Wow, he has! And that's put his Premier League on the line.
Is Duamel just snap full, right? Yeah.
It is gutsy, though, right? Because if he gets called there, he knows he's dead.
Yeah, unless he's got like
flush draw,
the flush draw. But yeah, it's definitely an uncomfortable spot. You don't want to get snap called when you do that, but yeah.
He's very good at making those tricky decisions post-flop, Scott Seiver. I think that is probably the hallmark of his game, and does it well. Welcome back to the Playground Poker Club in Montreal, Canada for Season 7 of Premier League Poker. Heat 2 is underway and 6 players remain.
I'm thankful, and I will return the favor to your kingdom.
Season 5's champion Scott Seiver took the chip just before the break and is fighting hard after his disappointing finish in Heat 1, where he was knocked out first.
I feel like that's what you're going through right now.
Nope.
Nope.
It's
3 weeks ago.
24,000.
Rast,
okay, well, this is just lift off.
Training.
I mean, I guess Duamel could tell himself the Jungleman's playing a little tight right now, but it would be weak to do anything but re-raise here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, tight 6-handed 10s, you're kind of fist pumped.
And I have
60,000.
Ironsmiths. I have a lot to offer that department. In case one of Scott's blacksmiths needed some
And they have basically the exact same stack, so this is going for points here. Wow, is it 3 points whoever loses? It's only 3 points for 6, right?
Yeah,
wow.
So
this is a big hand.
Obviously for Jungleman, he's already locked up 9 in the first heat, so he would be bang on average if he got knocked out now. Duamel would be taking the brunt of the pain. And is Jungleman got anything to think about here?
Yeah, I don't know how I mean, pretty sure he's just doing a little Hollywood in here, but.
Can you make a case for doing anything but jamming? Not really.
He's all in. You said something? All in.
He said all in.
You do all that Hollywood with aces.
Sir, are you all in?
Yeah.
All in. All in call.
What is going on here?
Let's just get this over with. I've got 10s.
Duhamel, he's on his home court in Montreal. It's his first big flip.
You're never ahead. Well, you know you're gonna hit.
He's got the king of clubs too. That's pretty bad flop for wants a 7 or 9. No.
That's not so.
I've lost lots of hands.
Jungleman has lived and died on the river. Did not hurt him here.
Interesting.
It has felt several times. And think about this. I mean, the Jungleman, when Duamel just smashed him in that straight versus bluff hand, it looked for all the world like Jungleman was going to be next out and Duamel was going to win this thing. Now Duamel, favorite to go out 6th, and Jungleman's got like 11 lives.
Really?
And Jonathan's trying to figure out what happened to his 700,000.
260.
What did happen to his 700,000?
I was smoking that match.
Yes, he lost part of it to Scott Seiver with the deuce 7.
And then he had the 8-6 against Scott.
Lost a little bit with the 8-6, and the rest with 2 10s.
You would have had to like.
The truth is, it looked like Duamel was playing great. When he goes back over the way he lost the 700,000, he might not be thrilled with himself.
Something real crazy. Huh? Nothing. I'm just joking around.
10,000 all in.
I have it, guys. I have it. You can fold now.
I wonder what the tournament wizards will say about that one.
Call 13.
1,000 chips to you, Jungle.
1,000? I guess I won't even look. I can't raise, can I?
Of course he could raise. Just the big blind. He's in the big blind, right?
On the check.
He really has gotten his sense of humor back to Jungleman. Now he's having fun again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, he loves it.
Like
wow, he hit a premium.
Yeah, I know.
One big blind hand.
What is my hand?
It's a strong one big blind hand.
Duhamel, knockouts, yes.
Seiver bet.
Yo, somebody's got a 1K right there.
I think Duamel must have the 9 deuce.
There's always chips everywhere. There's on.
No, ace 9. Sorry. Just clubs on the board.
Oh man.
Yay!
I would have made 2 pair. Why'd you have to
baby.
bet?
For real?
Yeah, I 2-4 off 2 pair.
Wow. John, he beats you on the river, and I got him to fold.
Oh wow.
I'm not gonna call it.
That seems like a mistake to
Good job, Scott. Good job.
You're right.
Thank you.
Yeah, look at that teamwork.
Team player.
Chip lead, I want you guys to be feeling the pressure here.
Sure.
I was going to bet if I didn't make the pair, but I was going to be like, you got this one, John.
Right, I mean, you pick up 2 points. That's vital. Those 2 points.
I mean,
even for especially for Scott Seiver. Like, I mean,
how good? I mean, I don't know how good you can run that you get that scenario where you get someone bets out the guy who has a winning hand, and it's like the pot's so small. I mean, there's some sometimes it makes sense to bet and get people out if there's side money, but like in that spot, I just can't agree with that.
Right. That could be critical.
You guys got me handcuffed.
Oh yeah, they'll be talking about it if he ends up coming back. He has 200,000 and there's 4 left in an hour. We'll see.
And it wasn't like he had a very good hand. I mean, he just made a 6. I mean, it was like
25.
It wasn't a very good hand at all.
I don't like it.
Huh. You don't see Scott Seiver making a mistake too often. I wonder if he might agree that was one. Can't be much because it's like Duamel is considering, and with 4.5 big blinds, you don't need to consider with much.
Yeah, just take them off the sensor and put them back in.
4 reds, pretty good.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh boy,
Had to be pretty bad. It probably was.
Hey, can I buy 4 reds?
I don't have 4 reds.
Jungle, give me 4 reds.
It's going to produce some really interesting dynamics here because
there's 2 greens
if
right
Duamel decides,
you're a good man and a fair man. In
if you just kind of blind it around, take a couple free hands.
Jungle,
I mean,
he can't. He's the blind. The ante's too big. He has to. I mean, he has 3 blinds. He has to get it in like immediately.
But I mean, the chance of someone else busting out in the meantime, pick up 2 extra points. Is that not?
I don't think so. I mean, with these stack sizes, everyone's got over 30 blinds.
Okay, so
like, there's just not going to go in. I mean, unless like aces to kings, and even then,
You don't want to give up your chance of actually still winning this.
Yeah, you got it. He's going to get it in very soon.
Little raise from Jason Koon.
Duhamel looks like
26,000.
Okay, so yeah, here he's going to be getting it in.
Fold.
Secondly, a call, by the way. This was 10s. This is slightly better than this.
Fold.
Wow! Wow, what a pass he just made. Who would pass there?
I mean, even if I saw Jason's hand, I'm probably putting it in.
Who would pass there?
And 5, 6, how many yellows?
6 yellows.
26,000.
6 yellows. That's 26.
It is interesting though, because really everybody has to
Now you
play
can
quite
make that
tight
bet,
right
couldn't
now,
you,
at least until Duamel
The
commits.
2-to-1 bet you were making earlier?
No, not
you
that.
don't want to leave those points
Not
on the
that hand?
table.
I would bet you.
It's just not a 2-to-1. I wouldn't do that.
I would just give you a free roll. How about that? It's $1 million that I had one of those hands in that range.
Oh, sorry.
Laak, Koon, and Rast have the exact same stack.
Small blind, big blind.
That's pretty weird.
You said 8's ace queen, right?
10's ace queen.
Okay, still.
And it's going to get really itchy down there.
free roll, yeah.
If Duamel gets one more double up,
Yeah, I mean, that's right.
really going to handcuff those short stacks.
Even you said
I mean,
I
these
should bet it,
guys
and I
still
still said
have
no, I don't
30
think so.
blinds
Yeah, sick
now.
read. Sick read.
I had my own read.
Everyone else.
Jungle,
Yeah, it might be a fold.
yeah. How do you feel about the placement?
Ace queen off.
It's a good spot for Seiver to raise a lot of hands, right?
we got
Because
some advantage.
he
I mean, I
knows
feel
that
it's a new
Rast,
small blind
that
move.
Laak, that Koon,
Oh,
they really
Rast,
can't
have
come
you seen
after
this
him.
move? Yesterday, you played yesterday. That small blind placement, I think that's new. It's new. I don't know how I can use it
All
right
in.
now.
Oh,
But it's new.
decides to go here.
I don't know if I'm favored in this game.
Guessing he didn't
Sorry,
like
Rast.
Koon's under the gun raise,
24.
so here he thinks he could be live against
You're
Seiver.
so sick.
Get
Jason gets a lot of big pairs. They don't necessarily hold, but he does get
Never
big
hold.
hands.
So what is the play here because of the fact that Duhamel's okay?
Raise all in.
No messing around. That hand for Duhamel is not going to match up so well.
I guess I can.
And here we go. No, it's not a very good. It's not looking good for Jonathan Duhamel.
He feels like a 2-club kind of guy on the flop.
I think that's right. I don't think I can induce.
one pair of queens is a very
That
strong
was
hand.
the one and one hand only, like, moment that I could do that. So I was just like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, I know,
If
that's
can
what I'm saying. I'm not gonna call and have you rip it in.
Okay, if I would play this hand.
No way!
Well, he's
got
he's
backdoor
joined
club.
us. Oh, he has a backdoor close, yeah.
5-5.
Ever the poker player notices instantly his widest
when
breadth
I
of
saw it,
damage.
it was like, wow.
It's like always aware of the Achilles heel.
Club.
Sensitivity brewing. Highest EV spotty bet in the whole
This is a
hand.
funny deck. This is a funny deck here at the Premier League.
5 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Just bam.
Crippling.
Top set.
Jason
No
cannot,
problem.
Jason cannot win with a big pair.
27,000.
It's really amazing. And even though that's not a big, I mean, still that's 84,000 chips. That puts him in right in the. That's annoying. That's one of those mental ones that's annoying.
And it really affects the dynamics. Well, this can really bite Scott Seiver in the butt. I mean, Duamel would be gone if he hadn't have made that bet on the turn.
All right.
I've seen you take these horrible. Like
Duamel says, I can be a pester.
Yeah.
It's just
We worked together on that one, John.
Yeah, good job.
Me doing that, let you jam.
Points, you know, it just feels
When
that
they
way.
stop.
And then you made a bonus false pay, and
I got
you
lucky.
got it
Yeah,
heads up just like you wanted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just, you know, I guess.
So happy when I saw those 2 queens.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yes, just how I wanted it.
Yeah. And who's just, we both are in it. We can just get some points starting here.
Nice hand, buddy.
Thank you, man.
What was he, 5% for the flop?
12,000.
That's what they call, folks at home, when you're looking for the term when you're in your home game, that's what they call ugly. Winning, ugly.
It's not ugly.
It's pure.
24,000.
It's so
Jungleman
pure. It's
getting
ugly.
into play.
Or it's so ugly, it's pure.
Oh, Ain't revenge sweet, Jeff Gross.
I mean,
all right, I'm all in.
Talk
All in.
time.
I like it. All right.
Why not?
And the math on this, I think
Feeling
Jungleman
lucky
may
now.
actually
It's supposed to happen.
Feeling lucky.
He goes, that wasn't supposed to happen.
Jungle, you're the best.
Jonathan
Yeah,
Duamel
no matter
took
what you do,
all
man,
of
I
Jungle's
ended up winning,
chips.
This is how World
Jungleman took them all back,
Can't really
and
lose,
now Duamel about to say I was
I already
only
said
the
call.
lending.
Oh, you said
Oh,
call.
he
Your
is.
cards
He's
over.
picking up almost. He's almost. He called. Oh, no,
Don't worry, it's only gonna be about 82,000.
Yeah, the math. I think he just has to call, which is sick.
Jungle, just think about this.
This is
You
all
have more
because
wheel draws than
I got
he
him to
does,
fold
and more
on
flush
the dry
draws.
side pot to bust you, John. This is all thanks to me.
This is unbelievable.
So,
This
yeah.
actually, it's actually
Drinks on you
told me
later.
that I wasn't even there that he bet that
Here it
turn.
comes.
Yeah, it's
King Jack to
1.
Split?
Not bad.
Wow.
6.
You can hit a 6, by the way. Jungle,
You
if
can
you hit a
choose.
6.
You want the 5 of spades?
5 of spades or 6 of clubs?
No.
I told you.
Wow.
Can't stop the jungle.
It's
Too many.
Look, Jung looks like he won the hand.
Dude, you had no chance for it, honestly.
Somehow just
You know he's better. You know he's just better.
Oh, I'm good.
You only had like
Person
27
jungle
outs to not lose the hand.
It's
so of course
true.
he's
82.
and he's over 200. Right?
Game's just so sick.
72.
82.
I mean, Duhamel's going to win.
30, 40,
70. 82.
80.
Yep, 82.
Wow, there's a couple players at this table, Jeff, who may be a little bit tilted right now. Duamel should be dead and buried. He is well in this thing.
Wow. Made for TV. It's just made for TV.
Duamel thrown a lifeline here in his hometown. Can he continue to fly the flag for Canada, or is his elimination imminent? Seiver and Jungleman have no such worries, whilst Laak, Koon, and Rast are all above average here in Heat 2.
The action is coming thick and fast now here at Premier League 7. Make sure you join us next time when Heat 2 draws to a conclusion and we find out who takes maximum points here at the Playground Poker Club in Montreal.
This is a big one.
You're insane, man.
There's nobody more fun to hang out with, really.
Can't stop the jungle.
That's how bad I'm playing.
This is so dirty.